Welcome back to the Musketeers podcast. Today we're with myself, Anderson,
Sayenne,
and Jose, the podcast where we talk about everything and anything.
Today we got a lot for you. A lot of good, intense subjects. We're going to start up with a sweet, sweet story about how Sayenne got rejected.
Huh?
No?
What? I don't know how I got rejected. How did I get rejected?
No, I'm kidding.
I'm confused.
Now we're going to start off with the story of how we went to Sayenne's second competition here in France. And first off, let's talk about the trip.
Look up, man. Why are you looking away?
So, we went to go see Sayenne's competition.
I won the competition.
Yes, he did. Yes, sir. Representing for Portugal, apparently, huh?
Mm-hmm. I feel like Portugal has enough representation. What about Angola?
Yeah.
They don't want me.
We were really proud of him. A long-ass trip, but it was worth it because he won, kind
Representing Portugal, not right.
Yeah, but we're so proud of our boy. And after we go have a little bit of a celebration dinner at McDonald's. You know how we roll. And he's talking. He tells us the story. You wanna? So this dude, like, while we're on the bus ride back, he's like, "Yo, I left the bathroom, and there was just this girl. She was looking at me so badly, and I was like, bro, like, it's a mixed bathroom. It's fine." And after, like,
we went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So we
were like, no, I think it was just men and women.
Yeah.
And after a while, like, we're at McDonald's and we're teasing him about it. And after, I started thinking, like, wait, there's maybe, like, the reason why she looked at you badly is because you entered the women's bathroom
without noticing.
So Sayed used the women's bathroom, and that's why the woman was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here? And he was so embarrassed and didn't want to say it on the podcast, but we found it to be so funny. We were laughing so hard.
Do you want to justify yourself, you pervert?
No. Bro, the door didn't have a man or a girl symbol. It was just... It didn't.
It did.
It did, bro. You didn't look.
He was too focused on the competition.
Yeah. Well...
crap.
There were two sides, bro. One to the left, one to the right.
No.
If you went to the left, you would see urinals for men.
I'm telling you. There was no side. I would have seen it. But yeah.
Okay, buddy.
That was it. Oh, talking about McDonald's. We love McDonald's. They should sponsor this. Bro, I went to McDonald's because like I was going back home from school. It was late. I wanted to eat something, and I was like...
Where this dude goes, oh, I'm an athlete, I eat healthy.
I don't. I never said I eat healthy.
3 times during a week.
You're exaggerating, but thank you.
That's the saddest part.
You are. But yeah, I went there, and I ordered like a small... I ordered a menu, burger, fries, blah, blah, and ordered 4 nuggets on top of it. Then I was like, oh, no, wait, change it. 6 nuggets, please. And he looked at me. He changed it. Oh, good. And I saw the price, and it was really cheap because it was the menu.
Golden.
No. It was the other menu. Like the whole menu was €5.
Oh, McFirst.
Yeah, McFirst. And total was like $10. And I was like, oh, this is not expensive for like nuggets, a whole menu. So like, you know what? Add 6 more nuggets. The guy looked at me. He was like,
you fat ass.
Are you okay,
you gotta
man?
finish it, you know that, right? He literally said that. And I was like, but I felt so bad. But he called me fat, and I don't know.
You should feel bad, bro. Nobody eats that many nuggets after a menu.
It hurt, but yeah.
And you still ordered
and
it.
12 was more moderate for him because he usually takes 20.
20, yeah.
Every
Not as a
time
menu,
we go to
it's after a menu.
Yeah. That is a whole meal for people.
Bro, it's just not enough.
But even though, like, McDonald's is super good, it doesn't beat the dinner we had last night with your father. That meat was so good. We went to an Argentinian restaurant.
Didn't eat the fries. Shut up.
But that's not. Those weren't fries.
But yeah, the potatoes.
Potatoes. But I'm a picky eater. You know this about me, and I'm not bougie like that.
I was surprised that you actually didn't like.
Eat
felt
more.
like it satisfied you.
What?
That's hard to do.
Towards the end, I did want some more. I was like, nah, I'm good. Because your meat was actually pretty
You
good.
couldn't finish the meat, bro.
I did.
He
What I
finished
left was
it,
the fat.
but then we wanted to give him more, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good. That never exists with him." Okay, man.
Being
That
a
is
student
dark
life,
pit.
starving.
Like as long as you give him, he'll take it.
Really good meat though.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really nice.
Why are we talking about meat on the podcast?
Because after the dinner, we went back home with this Uber driver.
Oh.
And we started talking. There's a World Cup going on, as everybody knows. And we started talking about. We were talking about who's better, Messi or Cristiano. And
By the
after-
way,
Is that even a debate?
it is. I mean,
they're equally good.
Yeah,
Stop.
that's what we came. That was our conclusion.
At this very moment?
Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll move on.
Yes.
Stick with NBA, okay, kids? Stick with the NBA.
Shut up, man.
Yeah. And the Uber driver overheard. So after he just like started talking about it and stuff, and he was talking about he was like, oh, like which team do you honestly think is gonna win and shit? After we said our teams and stuff, and we told him we were from Angola, and he was like, oh, okay,
No. First I said Portugal, and
and the other
the dude next to us, he was like, no, you're Angolan. And he was like, oh, Angola. And I don't know if he was like, oh, Angola, or like, oh,
No,
Angola.
but he knew, yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
Was he
And,
black?
No. He was from Morocco.
Yeah. And Algeria. But
Yeah. And after he was like, oh, honestly, I think France is going to win again. I was like, yeah, sure, bud. And he goes, you know what I would love to see, though? I would love to finally see an African team win. Like, doesn't matter which one, just to have finally some representation, like some proof that there is something that we can do better than the Europeans, even if it's playing football, you know? And after, like, we started getting more into it and we started talking about politics and stuff. And recently, like a few weeks ago, a black, what is it? A deputy? Is it still called a deputy?
It's not
in English?
black.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
The guy that said it was white.
He was white. That's the problem.
No.
He was white.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the guy that said it was white, but the
Yes.
guy speaking was black.
Okay.
Yeah, so deputy, he was a deputy, right?
Yeah, something like that. Whatever.
No?
Doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, this
Yeah.
this Afro-French man,
Go, speak.
this Afro-French man,
Speak! It's good.
yeah, this Afro-French man was having a speech in the French Assembly, right? And it was a speech about immigrants and stuff. And after there's another white French deputy that says, "Go back to your country," like in the assembly in France, and it made a bit of an outrage. In France and kind of internationally, because it's like the assembly is supposed to be a place of respect. Like, first off, you don't shout in the assembly, and especially not to say something like that.
Yeah.
And after he was just saying, like, when he visited the U.S., is like, even if like black people might be fighting against each other or might have disagreements, when anything is said about the community, they all come together to fight for something. But with what happened in that situation, even though people did mention it
on social media,
nobody went out to the streets. Like, this is a deputy, like somebody everybody should be respecting. Like, how can somebody just say that to such like a public figure in that way? And it really made me think. It's like sometimes, like, us Africans.
I'm sorry, just really quick. I think you're mistaking it. It wasn't somebody saying that's a deputy. It was a deputy saying it.
Yeah, they were both. No, were they not both part of the parliament?
They were.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was. Oh, so I got it. So it's
He was
even
saying
worse.
it to another.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
Another
Okay.
member.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, and it got me really thinking about, like, the African community, how even though we do have fights, like, with each other, that should never stop us from defending ourselves. Like, at the end of the day, we are all African. And he was saying, like, even though, yeah, we might be different races, we might not have the exact same politics, the exact same religions, but at the end of the day, we share the same sufferings. Like, we suffer through corruption, through misery, through hunger, and we have that in common. And when people offend us, instead of coming, like, being united and fighting for each other, we just kind of let everybody handle their problem on their own. And I was like, damn, like, that is something that we do need to change.
Go.
Why are you laughing? Oh, you find it funny?
No, the silence was funny.
It was like a second, bro. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, in terms of, I feel like in Africa and even in Europe, they don't have that kind of spirit of kind of, acting up. I mean, in France, they do.
Solidarity? I feel like in Africa people are more scared.
What he said was people here. You see a lot of like manifestations. How do you say?
Yeah,
Like protests.
Protests for like because we want higher salaries.
We want an
higher
extra
intro.
$5.
But they never
and
actually
stuff.
fight for causes like racism and stuff like that.
Yeah, social. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was
And in
interesting.
Africa, they really don't do
And
that.
that's what he was saying. He even brought up like the Black Lives Matter movement, like with the whole thing about George Floyd, something that happened in the U.S. that is not a reality here. I mean, no, racism is a reality here, but like Black Lives Matter was for racism and also like police brutality against black people. And even though yes, it does happen here in Europe, when you compare it to like the United States, it's less. There's still people that went out in the streets and protested like it happened like in France, you see. But with issues like that with Africa, Africans don't go out in the street and be like, no, this can't happen again and stuff. And after, like, it was the video that you sent on Insta, I mean, it kind of goes back to that. Is the, like, you want to explain the video?
Yeah, it was a black man on the metro kind of talking about how people don't respect African people enough, even though countries like France get the majority of their resources from Africa, you know, and it's not only France, a lot of Europe, a lot of, you know, the whole world.
The whole world.
It's a land that's rich in kind of everything, and they kind of take advantage of that, but then they don't respect us. And I mean, it's kind of our fault too.
Yeah.
We don't really
The paradox of
fight
planning.
for the respect that we should get.
Yeah, because he was saying, like, whenever you're in the United States or in Europe, you're seen as less than. It's like, oh, yeah, they're here because their country's shit and they're just using us to be able to gain money or be able to feed their kids. But in
Even
reality,
though for them to be where they are, they need us.
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Like,
so
the only reason
funny.
why you're getting paid, the only reason why you are even better than us is because you exploited us for so many years.
It's so fun in the U.S. when white people say that, because they're the ones who invented the country, technically. 'Cause
Yeah.
usually, like, I mean, the U.S. is from, I forgot
The indigenous.
Yeah, the indigenous.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
funny when white people say that. But yeah.
They're
like,
the most proud ones too.
Yeah.
Like their land, like it was always their land. Like God chose them.
But I think you sent this on Instagram, and it was the president of Liberia celebrating with his kid that just, I mean,
The U.S. team, the American player,
okay.
Way. Of course, he's American. He was born and raised there.
bro, no, even that, it's not obviously. Wait, give context. So the U.S. qualified for the quarterfinals, and one of the players is Liberian, and his dad is the president, right?
Of Liberia, yeah.
Of Liberia.
An African country. Gotta be sure nowadays, man.
And just the fact that he's American, he was born in the U.S. and grew in the U.S. doesn't make any sense to me. Like, your dad is the president of an
Yeah.
African country. Please, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But for me, it doesn't make sense. If you're the president, you have to give the example, right?
Yeah.
And your kid not even representing your country in the World Cup, like, he's representing, sure, it's his country, I guess, but, like, not blood-wise, for me, is a disrespect. And not disrespect, but it just shows the lack of strength of in our community and our...
That's the problem with Africa. We prefer to send our kids away. And,
Yeah.
you know, the people with actual power, the politicians, they send their kids away and then they come back like when they're older and they take over those positions of power. But instead of sending your kids away, why not work while you can to kind of make a better place for your kid, somewhere where he could eventually grow up, not have to send him to another state.
And like it was I was looking at the comment section because I was like really curious to see like what do people think of this. Are they like, I mean, yeah, do they have the same opinions as us? It's odd for the son of an African president to be
Playing for
for another team representing another country, or is it like, I mean, it's just the world, you know? And I mean, of course, like just through the little profile picture, I can't really tell, of course, from what nationality people are. But it seemed that like Americans are like, oh no, this shouldn't be seen as that. It should just be seen as a father being happy with his kid finally achieving his dreams. And other people are like, yeah, does it make sense for a kid like that to be playing for the United States? And after, like, it did really make me upset because it's like, how, like, okay, I feel like as an African president, I would be ashamed for my son to be playing for another
Another
country's team. Because
Yeah, exactly.
that is literally the proof and an example that my country isn't good enough, not for my people, not even for my family.
My son.
Like for my son, and that's insane, and it's sad.
And that explanation is bullshit because she said, "Oh, it's just a father being happy for his son achieving his dream." African countries can make it to the World Cup.
Yeah,
why
like
not support
Ghana,
your own
Senegal.
country?
Wait.
He could achieve the same dream, but representing his own country.
The argument the comments were using is Liberia doesn't have any conditions for sports in general, and
He's the president. He's the one that can change that.
exactly. So
Yeah, it's like
Super argument.
if you can say that almost about anybody else, but when you talk about the president,
president, you
the
can't.
person
It's not-
leading the
yeah.
country, that argument doesn't work
If
because
it-
they have almost all the power to be able to change it.
if it wasn't the son of the president, sure, it would make sense because Angola, bro. I have that. I thought about that a lot, and it was like, as an athlete, if I ever make it big, like, do I represent Portugal or Angola? And obviously, Portugal has more representation, Angola less. And like my heart, I want to go for Angola. But in terms of one, money,
Recognition.
two,
Opportunities.
two, three conditions, just in the institutions, like it's much easier.
And
for
even to
Portugal.
train for you to become the best
exactly,
athlete,
it's
you
much
need
easier.
proper facilities and people, personnel to help you.
Exactly.
And Angola can't.
So
offer
it's
that
hard
for you.
to say like, oh, he's doing the wrong thing. He's not. He picked the one that gives him the most opportunities. But we do need that representation. If everybody does what he did, we can grow.
And I just like to say it's like we're not like it's his life. Like he was born and raised in America. He didn't
He
choose.
probably feels American.
Yeah, he is. Like, it's not that he feels he is American. To be born and raised in a country your whole life, you are that nationality. And that's not anything against him. We're just saying that, like, for us, it's upsetting. But it's not his fault. And he's a great player and continue to do
I don't know.
it.
I've never seen him play.
I saw him play. He was
Oh, really?
Yeah. The U.S., honestly, no, they're not going to win. I'm sorry. But, I mean, compared to the last few years, they are playing better this year.
There. That's good.
They can't win.
They can't win.
And
Too
okay,
cocky.
finally, we can talk about Wakanda Forever because it's been long enough. If you haven't seen the movie at this point, fuck off. Okay, go watch another video and come back, or go watch Wakanda Forever and come back. Because what we're talking about the resources and how European countries and the United States profit off of Africa is almost exactly what Wakanda Forever is about. It's like one of the big points they do touch on. Y'all want to explain like the plot? Because I remember, but
I've actually been seeing a lot of reviews of Wakanda Forever and a lot of hate. I don't know if
Really?
y'all seen the same.
Hate?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it.
Interesting.
I do, but I do get what they say. But yeah, I'll explain the movie a little bit.
No, explain what they're saying.
explain the
I'll
plot.
say the plot and then
Okay, sure.
basically the main theme is kind of like dealing with the death of Black Panther, of Chadwick.
Chadwick, yeah.
Boseman. Well,
T'Challa.
Yeah, of T'Challa. And it's really emotional because, you know, the actor actually died and you can kind of feel that the performance, wasn't really only about acting, you know, it was actually true. And they have to deal with the consequences of, you know, getting a new leader because his mom is the one who goes back to being the queen. And then in the first movie, he opened kind of the borders, not the borders, but he opened up Wakanda a little bit more, promised that he would trade with other countries, and they didn't really fulfill their promise. And we're kind of dealing with other countries trying to take advantage, trying to get access to vibranium. And should I talk about the
talk
new
about
enemy?
everything.
But yeah, at the same time, because all the other countries are finding ways to get access to vibranium, they get their hands on kind of a machine that can detect vibranium, and we find out that Wakanda isn't actually the only place with vibranium. Underwater,
Yeah.
there's kind of a
I don't think you need to enter the details, but yeah, like then
yeah. We
because of
find
that-
out Wakanda isn't the only place with vibranium. There's another race with vibranium, and none
It's
of
like
them.
they represent indigenous people from Latin America. I forgot the name of the people.
I mean, I don't think it's a real name.
Aztec, I think no.
No, I meant the people in Wakanda.
Oh, okay.
Forgot their name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, either way, none of them want the rest of the world to have access to vibranium. And we're kind of dealing with the conflicts with that. And the hate I saw online was kind of more about
Sorry, before you touch on that, I just really wanted to say that just that first scenario that you described, I feel like it's almost like the perfect representation of what goes on, because it's like Black Panther, leader of the most powerful nation in the world, Wakanda, dies. And instead of people having empathy, they try to use that weak moment to finally be able to exploit them. And I think it was extremely powerful because one of the first scenes is like there's the funeral, there's everything, and after it's almost like the UN thing.
yeah, the UN.
It's the French army, ironic.
And
Ironically, yeah, we watched
and the
it here.
USA.
French and USA, who had an army trying to infiltrate a Wakanda base, trying to get access on the vibranium, and after
The Wakandans caught them.
yeah, the Wakandans caught them and brought them out in the UN, put them down on their knees and said, I know you think we're weak and we are hurting and we are suffering, but don't you ever think that you can take advantage of us? And I was like, just that moment, I was like, fuck, that's
was a
how we
big
do it.
moment.
That's how we roll.
Except we don't.
Yeah,
I wish we
We
did.
sell everything.
We should have.
But, and then just left like France, all the UN representatives like in awe, because there was no response to that action. Like, you got caught. There's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, go on.
I kind of saw hate because of like people kind of calling Wakanda kind of hypocrites, you know?
Or
Because I don't know, because in general, Africa is already poor, you know? You said that we should support each other more. And yet, instead of deciding to kind of, you know, help the countries near them, they decide to keep it all for themselves and ignore problems in other countries when they could help.
it's different, I think. Just because vibranium could be used as a mass destruction weapon.
Also, vibranium kind of represents oil. I
It's
think.
different because oil. You can't make a massive oil won't destroy the world. Vibranium could. In the wrong
I mean,
hands.
gunpowder is made off of like.
Is it?
I think you do need. No. Am I just talking shit?
Oil.
I think
don't
you
know.
are.
I don't know.
Oh no! I am talking shit.
Yeah.
But no, but wait. The resources I think are found.
Whatever.
Am I just talking shit?
You are. Can you not look at me?
If you're dying, you want us to look away?
Aye.
And I get the critique, but it's like during the first movie and second movie, we see why. It's because anytime you give somebody anything, it's like that quote of you give the hand, they want the arm, and like Wakanda, I give you a little bit of vibranium, now you want it for this, now you want it for that, now you want it to build weapons, and even towards the end, it's like they do finally realize that they are gonna work with other people, but it's with the indigenous people that also have vibranium and can understand their struggle, and it's not just like there's also like, you know, I can give you a fish or I can teach you how to fish. You know, if I give you a fish, it's only gonna help you. It's only gonna stop your hunger now. If I teach you how to fish, then you can go and like get more. You know, and like if Wakanda is like, okay, here's some money, here's some vibranium, it's not gonna directly solve all these issues are much more complex than here's some money, and that's what Europeans do. Is like, oh yeah, we gave them this much, we gave them that much, we put companies there, but that's not how Africa and how underdeveloped countries are gonna develop. It's by solving these complex
Education, bro.
issues.
Secret is in education.
Yeah, and exactly, but that will take years and years, like for us to see the fruits. You know.
Yeah. Complicado. Anything else, guys? Oh, anybody that watches the podcast, if you know any programmers, we are interested. Yes, please. This is very random.
Bro, come
But
on.
we're
Very
looking for
random.
programmers and we can't find any. So if you know any, or if you are one, please contact us at 999-11-12-13. Yeah.
Or leave a comment.
Yeah.
And say I'm here. Contact me.
All right. Anything else?
I'll do it for free. I don't know.
Yeah, we want something free. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. This one was a kind of a short one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Tell us, like, actually, please, if you made it to the end of this video, we just want one comment, please.
Yo,
like,
hey.
for the love of God.
You know we have comments, right? It's
Oh,
not
we
like
do?
we have 0 comments. See,
We
don't
do,
read
but
No, I'm
comments.
kidding. I'm kidding. But we want more. Like, if you're gonna comment one, comment three. Like, like give us some more, man. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. You know what to do. Share it, okay? For the love of God, share it. Thank you.
All right. If you like the Black Panther, tell us what you thought in the comments. You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing all the time,
what
man?
they said.
All right. Bye.
Ciao, beijos.